Welcome to ID Pilates Online. Today we are working on an exercise called single leg knee sways, which is a fundamental exercise that we use to train pelvic and spinal stability and build functionality and strength in the deep core muscles. Join me on your mat, laying flat on your back, feet hip distance apart, knees bent. You want to think heels in line with sits bones, heels directly under the knees, arms resting down by your side. Before we get started, we want to scan through the body and make sure we have as close to a neutral spine as we can without gripping or feeling like we're tightening anything too much beyond the point that we can move it. So you want to scan from bottom to top. We're going to feel the sacrum, that triangular bone at the back of your pelvis, heavy into the mat. Then at your lumbar spine, there should be just a touch of space between your lower back and the mat. And then the back of the rib cage, especially right below those shoulder blades, maybe around the bra line area, should feel anchored down into that mat. And then there's some space behind the cervical spine, and then the back of your skull is in the mat so that your nose is pointing straight up to the sky. Take a moment and put your hands on your pelvis. We're going to feel those ASIS bones, those bony points in the front of your pelvis there, and your pubic bone, and we're going to make sure those bones are on the same level. So you don't want your pubic bone up higher than those ASIS bones or lower. We want them on the same level, just a nice flat triangular shape there, and that tells us we have a neutral spine. The goal here is, a neutral pelvis. The goal here is to maintain that neutral pelvis and spine as we start to move the legs in a very gentle range of motion for now. So on an inhale, I want you to start to open your left knee out to the side, keeping your foot down on the mat, the bottom of your foot down on the mat, and making sure the hips stay nice and stable, and then draw that leg right back in. And then we take that over to the other side. So the knee sways out to the side, and the weight of the leg is going to try to take the pelvis with it, and it's your deep core's job to hold that pelvis stable and resist against the weight of that leg, and then we'll exhale to bring it back in. Keep going like that. So the knee sways open to the side while the opposite side of the body stays completely still. Take the range of motion you can where you stay completely stable in that pelvis and in that spine, and then take it the other way. And bringing it back to center. And then over to the left. And bringing it back to center. Inhale to the right. And back to center. Now we'll pause, and I'm going to show you how to take it up just one notch of difficulty with the prep. We've got our inflated Pilates ball here, and we're going to use this under the pelvis to make this exercise just a tiny bit more challenging. If you don't have a ball, you can try a pillow or maybe a balance disc or anything that has some give to it. So we'll prop the pelvis up. The prop goes right underneath that sacrum. Again, you want to be able to find a neutral pelvis here, so be careful that you don't set your ball up in a way that's making you tuck or arch in your lumbar spine. You want to keep it nice and neutral. Make sure you feel centered, and then go ahead and try it like that. And just notice that that unstable surface makes it just a tiny bit more challenging. Your pelvis will want to kind of roll off the ball, and it just challenges that deep core a little bit more to find stability and keep everything really nice and still as the limb moves with ease. Let's do one more each way. Inhaling out, exhaling back in, and inhaling out, and exhaling back in. You can take that ball out from underneath your pelvis, and you are all set. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.